Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel. We are here. We are here. Don't cry. We made it in the end. Nima had a breaking news that he had to post on his website, which we will be talking about today. But yeah, let me welcome the esteemed guest who is making his third or fourth appearance on the channel, I believe.
I can't
Nima
remember. I think it's fourth or fifth. I can't remember.
Yeah,
Maybe
and he always
fifth.
moans that I don't bring him on enough.
No, don't. No, look. Yeah, no, it's good to be with you. It's just literally before we started recording that the Marotta news broke, and I had to talk to people, and talk to people what's going on and who what, because this really came out of nowhere. I had no one knew anything. Like,
no, I mean, for the last year or so, I mean, me and you, Nima, we've been talking about it. Like, it was, if I had to put money on it, this guy was gonna end his contract, get into the Federcalcio or somewhere along.
Well, he turns 67, doesn't he, in 2025? So, and he's been very open about, okay, well, after my contract expires, when I hit 67, I want to retire, I want to calm down, I want to blah blah blah. But now, and this has several implications, which I'm sure we're going to get into. But
what's your well, actually, no, let me give you quickly a shout out to the people who have been waiting patiently.
Sorry, everyone.
No. We have Kirby, who's even started, looks like he's singing songs in the singing Stand By Me in the chat. We got Massimo, our favorite pizza boy in the house, Pizzaiolo, Indro, Menzur. So Champions League back to Milano by 2027. Yeah, I guess that is the mission. And thank you, Bruce Wayne, who sent a £1.99 donation for the message that we all want, the second star. So thank you to you as well. El Gordo, good to see you. Leicester Boy, of course. Sophia, make sure you check her out. She makes content on Man United and Inter. Shouts out to Sophia. RB Comps, even Juve fans in the house over here. RB, of course, he's quite active on Twitter if you don't know about him. Sharif, hope you're doing well. Eduardo, who's been a channel member for 22 months now. It's nice. This is his joke that he makes at me all the time now. Marriage points. Apparently, I need to get enough marriage points to, make live streams and do my content.
Marriage points, love it.
Sure. Nadim, hope you're all doing well, guys. But yeah, let's get into it now, Nima. Marotta renewing till 2027.
That's huge.
Your reaction?
That's huge. That's absolutely huge. This means several things. This means that Suning is staying. Suning aren't going anywhere. This means that Suning have found a solution to the Oak Tree loan, which they will announce soon. This means that Bacin and Ausilio and Antonello, I expect them to extend to 2027 as well.
This means Marotta League continues for Milanisti.
Yeah, that is just it has lots of implications. It means Suning are staying. They are happy with the project. They've all found each other after some really turbulent years. They've come out of the woods and they feel that they want to continue together until 2027 at least, which is very good news for Inter. It provides stability in a period where Inter have not had much stability. And that it also means that, like I said, Antonello, Bacin, Ausilio, I think will also extend. I think it means that they are confident about everything they're involved in. So yeah, it has lots of ramifications, and it also means that I think it also means that Simone Inzaghi will extend too soon.
Wow.
I think it has lots of ramifications, and the fact that they feel stable because the second part of that Gazzetta article was how the first 4 months of the year or of the season of the fiscal year. It's not in that. I think it's a separate article because we wanted to get this out as soon as possible. Should be out within a few minutes, but it should be out soon. Yeah, I think it was not quarter, but the first trimester, the first 4 months of the year, Inter have increased their revenue by 36%. Some of that obviously has to do with Onana and Brozovic. Other things also to do with them, the sponsorships kind of recovering of post-COVID economy. So no, it came out of the blue. It's very good news. It means everyone is happy with one another, that despite all the doomsday scenarios and all the fake news that we've heard from especially the New York Times and two particular cretins who write there about Inter and Sunit, it's all nonsense. And
Suning, you mean you said Sunit there by mistake?
Hello, Mr. Freud. I love Sunit. I don't know why. Suning, yes, all the nonsense about Sun, but Sunit talks shit all the time.
Oh yeah, that's
so I think I can be forgiven there. No, but all jokes aside, no, it just goes to show that there is financial stability. Inter have gone through hell and back, through meltdown, and they have systematically, slowly but surely, worked themselves through what has been an incredibly difficult period in Inter's history, and they've come out the other side with a coach who's in his third year and is developing and improving every year. And I think he's really hitting his stride now. The squad looks very good. Of course, there are holes, but financially the club has recovered. Everyone knows what they're doing. It's a new project. It's a new Inter. And they all are happy working together, and they want to do so for another 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, your first point you made, I was kind of that, because I didn't even think about that. The Suning point about that, you think this means that
no, they're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere, and I've believed that for a long time.
Your boy Thomas Zilliacus is not.
I think Thomas Zilliacus is interested in investing at Inter.
Right.
I think what he wants to do, again, this is my impression of having interviewed him for 45 minutes, having interactions with him, on WhatsApp and on Twitter and stuff like that. My impression, so it's not something he's told me, but my impression is that he wants to be an investor at Inter. Of course, it would be an honor for him to buy Inter, but I don't think that's what he wants to do fully. I think what he would love to do is to be allowed to work with Suning in this, or the Zhang family in this Inter project. That, I think, could potentially happen as an investor instead of Lion Rock, who nobody really knows officially. I don't want to say anything to get myself in legal trouble, but whatever the hell that is what it is. But I think Lion Rock might leave soon. I think, or maybe not leave, but something has to happen with that, because they're just there. It's just there and doesn't do anything.
And for people that don't know, Lion Rock is the owners of the 31% of Inter shares.
Yeah, third. Yeah. I think if Zilliacus comes in and his company comes in, it will be to buy out Lion Rock for however much money it is.
Which is what Zhang wants, isn't it? He wants a minority investor rather than someone to buy him out.
Exactly. And I think what Zilliacus wants, and this he is crystal clear about, and he said it in every interview he's done, and he told me when we spoke for 45 minutes, what he wants to do is innovation. He wants to innovate revenue streams. He wants to innovate the fan experience. He wants to innovate the marketing in a way that hasn't really been done in football before. So I think if he were to enter into Inter as a co-owner or as an investor, I think he will demand that he gets to work with that side of it. I think if that happens, then that's what we're talking about. And that's a negotiation tactic. I mean, that's up to negotiation. Is Suning prepared to give away that part of it and reallocate resources from Inter to develop that side of it? All of that is negotiation, really. But I mean, if there's a will, there's a way. And if they want to do that, and if they believe in that, then they will, then that's what they will do. But we'll have to wait and see. I think that my impression is that if he comes in, it will be as a minority owner, and it will be he will want to work with those aspects of the investment that he's been, or that kind of innovative revenue, alternative revenue streams that he's been very, very clear and vocal about that he wants to work with.
Right.
So that's what I think. But this news about Marotta just tells me that Suning aren't going anywhere, which is something I've been saying for a few years now. And it also means that they have gone through, they feel comfortable working together, which is incredibly important. Just the idea of entering into the last 12 months of Marotta's contract was gave me panic attacks and anxiety. Him staying till 2027, June 2027, means that they are looking at a bridge to the future, which is very, very important for Inter.
Yeah,
because Marotta's been the most important signing Inter have done in over a decade.
Yeah, no, remember I did a video on the Sempre Inter TV back when I was on Sempre Inter, and that was back in 2019 or 2020 or something. I said biggest signing of the Mercato at the time. I said for Inter, but it's probably the biggest signing of the past decade.
No, it's the most important signing that Inter have done was appointing Beppe Marotta as the club's CEO for sport. It's just the way.
And I agree with you. I think Ausilio and Co will probably renew in line with him.
No, they work well together. Ausilio and Marotta work well together. Bacin works. They all work well together. It's about building a team, right?
Yeah.
And working well together, and it clearly works for them. And they've, it's been difficult. It's been, it's not been easy. There's been a lot of finger wagging and pointing and anger, but now they're through it all. They've come through on the other side. Inter's finances are looking good. They're looking to build a new stadium in Rozzano. The mayor there looks happy and wants it. The people there seem happy because it's an underdeveloped area of just outside Milan. So we'll see. Everything is pointing finally, after a few years of stagnation, in the right direction. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, but what do you make of that in terms of Suning staying? Because I'm not like a Suning out in terms of let's get him out. Like, no, it's just that in terms of investment, we know that they can't pump money.
Well, no one can. Well, see, this is the thing. No one can unless you violate financial fair play laws or you violate financial sustainability laws. You can't just do that anymore.
No, but at the same time, our club doesn't need to be on a loan that's leveraged.
Yeah, but it's leveraged against the owner, not the club. Suning used their ownership of Inter to secure a loan to secure Inter's existence. Now, what they've done since that, why they did that was because they wanted to because they couldn't put in capital. They wanted to make sure that if Inter needed capital, it was there. Now, from what we understand, less than half of that has been used, which just goes to show that they've done brilliantly in terms of cost cutting and financial sustainability. They've done a fantastic job, and now things are going in the right direction. And of course, with a shirt sponsor and that situation, and and Inter obviously doing well on the pitch, that's good because it means they've turned a corner, and we can look forward to stability more than anything.
Yeah, I want to see before making that. I want to see how they manage the Oak Tree loan situation. I want to, if they get another loan that's even on higher interest.
No, I think it could be a refinancing. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they refinanced it, meaning they had another. Either they did it with Oak Tree, basically saying, okay, well, they renegotiate the terms of the loan at lower interest rate, and so on and so forth, or someone else comes in and basically pays off the loan, but at new terms with the owner. So that could happen.
I want to see the terms of the deal before making.
No, I mean, Inter's finances are better than when they took out the loan, and they haven't utilized most of the loan. So that means that whoever pays it, well, I mean, it's on more advantageous terms to Inter and to Suning. And you have to remember, Suning are also the Zhang family are very powerful in China, and if you want to have, you do want to be on friendly terms with powerful families in business China, because the Chinese economy will soon, if not already hasn't yet, but soon will overtake the United States as the biggest economy in the world, and it's going to be the engine that drives the world economy forward for the next 2 generations, 3 generations. And so you want to be on
hopefully the
good terms.
Chinese government takes that ban.
No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
Really?
No. There's no way that's going to happen. They, if anything, it's going the other way around. I mean, they are literally saying that capital cannot leave the country unless it is for essential businesses, and sports is not part of that. Yeah. It's just not part of that. So they will continue to invest in what they consider strategic business partnerships and strategic areas that are important to China and Chinese economy. Football isn't part of that. And they've made that absolutely clear.
Yeah. Okay. That's
so. This is what this provides is just stability for Inter. It just provides
definitely.
Stability.
I mean, Marotta would have, if he completes until 2027, he would almost have 10 years tenure at Inter, which is amazing.
Very good. Very good. And I mean, by then, if I'm not mistaken, he'll be 70. I think so. Yeah. And I mean,
probably at 71, 72.
Yeah, 71. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. No, it's good news for Inter. There's no doubt about that. It's good news for Inter, and it's good news for Italian football that one of the biggest clubs of Italian football has continuity in ownership, continuity in directors, and the people running it, because it's stability, and he is competent. There's no doubt about that.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why actually I wouldn't have, like, for Italian football, I wouldn't have thought it would have been, actually I thought it would have been quite good if he was in a power position for Italian football as well, as he wanted in Italian politics. Like, I feel like he would bring about some form of change in the way he speaks about, what needs to change in Serie A and football in general.
Yeah.
We've got him.
No, it's very good. I mean, I hope this is true. I hope they don't walk it back now, Gazzetta, because that would be very, very upsetting if they did. But you never know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'd be very surprised that they went out with this if they hadn't verified it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Let's see in the coming days.
Yes, I do think Marotta wants to win the Champions League. I absolutely think that. I think that is very much the case.
But anyway, Nima, we spent 18 minutes on our beloved Beppe Marotta, which
huge news.
Yeah, huge news. But let's move on to why, we're doing this live stream today, which is the match that's happening at 7:45 UK time, kickoff on Sunday, the Derby d'Italia, the first one of the year, and it's the first Derby d'Italia in a while that's kind of top of the league clash, like an old school Inter versus Juve or Juve versus Inter. And if for people that didn't know, I'm sure people should be knowing now in terms of Nima, Italian Football Podcast.
Thank you.
This guy is the biggest Allegri fan in existence. He's the president of Allegri FC. He's the Corto Muso disciple. He is the Halma king.
Halma. No, listen, he is. I'm worried about this game because this is. Allegri he loves nothing more than to shit on your party, like to turn up to your big party and take a giant shit in the in the punch bowl, playing his little brand of risk minimizing football, organized, structured, disciplined football.
Zilliacus confirmed as well. There you go.
Yeah. There you go. I mean, it was obvious. Yeah, let's see about Antonello. Maybe Antonello is the one that they don't, because maybe they feel that in terms of the CEO for business, they want to change. But the sporting side for me with Bacina and Ausilio continuing was a given.
Yeah.
After Marotta continued. But look, getting back to Allegri. He knows that nobody rates his Juve. And he knows he doesn't have a very good squad, and he knows that Inter are the best squad. And if they could, if he were to manage to win the Serie A this season with that team, that probably would be his greatest achievement domestically, because it's truly unbelievable. I mean, if you look at that squad, it is not compared to Inter's, it's not the best. But he is tactically so sound, so careful, and he's got Juventus playing good. I mean, they also
they're playing good.
I'd say they play good.
Winning.
I think they play good. I think this notion of him, like, I mean, if you compare Juve this season to last season, there's been massive improvement. I think Juve have a clear identity. I disagree with Carlo that there's no patterns of play. It's just inshallah something works out. No, I mean he doesn't even think that anymore. I mean, Juve have an identity. They have a way to play. It's just that a lot of people don't like how they play. You know, I think, and that's fine.
I wouldn't call them playing well.
I think they're playing well. I didn't say they played fantastic. I said they play well. They play well. They play. I think with the return of Chiesa.
Well, is he in that category, by the way? Is he a super? He is a super coach, right?
Oh, he is. I mean, the title of the article I wrote was "Why Simone Inzaghi is the next Italian super coach after Antonio Conte and Max Allegri." So, you know,
a lot of people may still make fun of him, and I when things were going wrong for him last season, which obviously I was as well. But if you still gave me the opportunity to have Allegri at Inter, I would still take him at Inter. Like people,
without a doubt, Max Allegri doesn't. I mean, I know that they make fun of him and he's outdated and he's outdated, and he is outdated. He's not a very modern coach. He doesn't do any of that stuff, but he is a very competent coach, and he is he knows how to handle these situations, and he's absolutely loving it. Like I know he's sitting there rubbing his hands at the idea of beating Inter 1-0 with 25% ball possession, an XG of 0.1, one shot on target all game. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, like he and everyone whinging about him afterwards, and he's got that smile and Cortomuso.
And he's been putting that pressure on Inter for like 2 seasons in a row now. Like, he keeps talking about us being favorites by far. They were the best team, best squad, everything. Which this season, in past seasons, I've been like, bro, your squad. But this season, I have to agree that, we have the best squad.
I think Inter have the best squad. I think Inter have my only question mark for Inter is the depth in attack, because I don't think Inter have any. I don't think Arnautovic is good enough, and unfortunately, Alexis Sanchez, who's one of my favorite players of the last 15 years, he's past it. He's not the Lamborghini in the desert, but he's an old lion who's seen better days.
Yeah, when we re-sign him, I thought at least it'd be like an upgrade on Correa, but at the moment it's kind of like, whoa.
Well, I think he is an upgrade on Correa. I think he is an upgrade. Even at this point in time, he's an upgrade on Correa. Have you watched how Marseille look? Have you seen?
No, I've not seen Marseille.
Yeah. He's an upgrade on Correa. Marseille fans are not happy with Joaquin Correa.
Sure.
That's all I'm gonna say.
We just need to come forward. I don't care, or third, wherever their position.
Yeah, last time I checked, I haven't looked at the league table for a while, but they were like closer to the relegation.
Yeah, I think they're like 9th or something, so that's not happening.
Oh, please, God. I just can't. Oh, I just can't.
But what if I asked this question to Gianni the other day when he came on the channel? I think, and then we compared it afterwards at the end, like if we Inter make the signing of Taremi from Porto in January, that would be like how Inter signed Pandev in the 2010 Mourinho season, where it's like, maybe you don't need that signing, but it's just that signing that almost guarantees you the Scudetto.
No, if he comes in January, Inter winning the Serie A. There's no doubt about that. Because he's a huge improvement on, well, frankly, both. Like we're talking about someone who has been Porto's by far best player, who is the focal point of their attack. Everything goes through him. So no, it's not going to happen. I mean, Porto can't replace him in January. And their president the other day confirmed that he's not extending his contract. So I think they're just going to see the season out, and then arrivederci. I think we're going to see quite a few free transfers in the summer for Inter. I think Thiago Jaló I think, and Taremi and potentially Zielinski are players Inter are looking at.
Yeah, if we can get Zielinski, I wouldn't renew Mkhitaryan. Hopefully,
well, that's who he's replacing. I mean, that would be who he replaces.
Because his Cage and Pimenta yesterday or the other day came out and said, "We're ready. Renew contract."
Yeah, she can be as ready as she wants. I think now that Marotta's got another 4 years to work on, I think he's going to build the team towards that.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, going back to the game, Nima. Let's get into some of the predicted lineup. So let's give me some quick Juve news. It looked like, I mean, I was joking with Gianni that Locatelli was, magically unavailable for Italy, and he would be for the Inter game. But it looks like he won't be. It looks like he's still.
I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I don't believe it. I know. I'm sorry. I don't believe a word that comes out of that club's mouth. Like when it comes to Inter, they have no shame. They will lie and they will not even bat an eyelid. Well, I think he will play. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't play.
At the moment, Sky Sport Italia, their predicted lineup has Miretti playing as the deep-lying midfielder with
Look at the state of that lineup and tell me that Allegri is not a genius for having them where they are. Look at the state of that. There is literally only one. There's 2 players there that are genuinely top class. It's Bremer and it's Vlahovic. Gatti.
Vlahovic isn't even there.
Chiesa, Bremer. Yeah, Chiesa, Bremer. I mean, Kostic is good, but the rest of them, sweet mother of God.
I mean, Rabiot was like their MVP last season. He's a good player.
But Gatti, Rugani. Moise Kean is doing really well this season. Cambiasso I really liked. I wish Inter would have had him, but look at the state of this lineup. If he wins the Serie A with this team, they should just build a bloody.
Oh, it's also whatever. Like a lot of people criticize Pioli for. Clearly, there's something going on wrong in the backroom stuff where they get so many injuries all the time, and they only have 1 game a week this year, and they're still getting so many injuries. So they must be doing something wrong in the medical staff.
It's been a problem with Juve for quite a few years now, isn't it? Both at Milan and the muscle injuries, and Juve as well.
I know what you mean. I disagree in terms of it's still it's mismanagement. It's still the highest paid squad in Serie A, and
but that's not on Allegri. I mean,
I know, but it's still like it's a measurement of the squad level that they have.
Well, you wish it was. But I mean, you look at that and tell me how on earth that they're not overpaying when they put out that 11. Like, I'm sorry. Jesus.
And obviously, I mean, a lot of the wages are going on guys that they haven't even stepped foot on the pitch, like Pogba, and obviously Fagioli. We know Pogba, what happened with him. And then we have Danilo. Danilo is going to be a big miss for them because Danilo is like their leader at the back alongside Bremer. The other guys, Weah's decent. De Sciglio is just Allegri's son, so it doesn't really count.
He's got De Sciglio's been all right, and Rugani's been decent, and Gatti as well. No, he's got them playing well.
That's the thing with Allegri, isn't it? He makes these like players that you think. I mean, Rugani used to be rated highly, and I don't know what happened to him, but he kind of makes these types of players perform somehow. That's one thing you have to give credit to Allegri.
It's getting players to overperform. That to play above their level is something he and Conte are. I mean, Conte getting Victor Moses to be the best wing back in the world for that season is just ridiculous. He always does that. I mean, he with Padoin and Giaccherini and all these guys it's for different reasons they are very good at that.
Well, what do you make of Vlahovic's kind of form, which has completely fallen off a cliff since he's signed for you? Obviously, he's on both. He can't be on Allegri, but did we overrate him? Was he overrated, or is it?
I'm starting to think maybe we all did overrate him, because you can't just blame Allegri time in and you can't just blame everything on Allegri because he's not exactly been doing it for the national team either. And I look at, for me, the issue is obvious. He can't play with his back against the goal. His linker play is dreadful. And I don't understand why. I don't get it. Because
technically he's a sound player. I don't really understand. Physically, he's very well built. So I don't really understand what the problem is.
I don't get why he can't make it work. And the mistakes that he's making are the mistakes that it's not built, like it's because he doesn't seem to get it right. Like he's so out of form and it's just not working for him.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to call him over because I was very early heavy on Vlahovic, so I'm still not ready to call him overrated.
No, me neither, but I'm starting to entertain the idea.
Yeah, because Forte Inter is saying it's like he wasn't one season. He was doing it at Fiorentina for multiple seasons. And then his first 6 months at Juve were also very, very good as well. When he first was signed for Juve in January until the end of the season, he was good for Juve then too. It's just been the last full season and obviously the beginning of this season, which has been very, very under par. But so for for Sunday, Moise Kean and Chiesa front two. Does that worry you? Because Chiesa doesn't look great in the front two either.
I think that Chiesa will do well. I think Chiesa just needs to stop whinging and bitching with Allegri and just stop
firing these indirect shots at him.
Oh my God, how much he whinges. I want to play on the wing. I want to play on the wing. I want to play in a 4-3-3. I want to do this. I want to do that. If he were to focus more, because I agree with Allegri. I think Chiesa is in the two-man attack, because he has that killer instinct. He could score ridiculous amounts of goals. I think Vlahovic, so I think Chiesa in the two-man attack up front is just, I mean, he could potentially be absolutely unbelievable because he has that, he's like a heat-seeking missile. When he goes on goal, you just can't stop him.
Yeah.
But so I for me, his talent. Of course, that injury kind of stopped it. But like I said a few years ago, I think that his talent is Ballon d'Or level. I really think he is the best Italian player to come in a very long time in terms of raw talent, without a doubt. I mean, he has everything. Now he's kind of getting back from the injury, which was very serious.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, but I still, maybe, I don't know. I do see the point about him potentially in the front two as like that second striker roaming behind the guy. But he needs space to attack. And he always drifts to the wing. And I don't know if the system I don't
think the 3-5-2 works for him. And I think that you will want to move away from the 3-5-2 to a 4-3-3. But the problem is that if they can't play a 4-3-3 with Vlahovic being this awful, because he can't play with his back against the goal. And I think if you want to be a world-class number 9, you have to be able to do that. And Vlahovic just doesn't seem to know how to do that. And it's weird. It's a very weird situation. But I wonder if this is not the last season of Vlahovic at Juve.
Well, I mean, there was rumors that they wanted to renew his contract, but I think that's just to get his amortization down, isn't it? Just to get his value down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
I'm interested to see this Nima on Sunday, because Cambiaso and McKennie, that's basically like having, because McKennie has been playing as a wing back this season. These two guys are probably going to swap positions quite a lot.
They are.
Invert, isn't he?
Exactly. And I think that's a very interesting point that you raise, because he has done it a lot, the inverted wing back. And we've seen that quite a bit this season with Theo Hernandez doing it as well, and Di Marco for the national team doing it as well. And I think we're going to see that. I think McKennie and Cambiaso are going to be switching positions quite a bit, and Inter need to pay attention, and Di Marco needs to be switched on, and whoever plays behind Di Marco, and that's a worry for Inter, because Bastoni's going to miss the game, and so it's Acerbi on the left centre back. Not a big fan of that.
And Kostic always seems to turn up against Inter as well. He does. He's an opinion-splitting player, from what I've heard from Juve fans. But to me, he is a cross spammer, but his crosses are very good.
Look, his assists speak for themselves. He's consistently double-digit assister.
I wanted him instead of Gosens, like when we signed Gosens.
Oh yes, oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I think he would have been really good for Inter. But yeah, let's move on to Inter's team. Enough talking about.
But
Juventus.
yeah, Inter need to watch out about the physicality and Moise Kean. I think Moise Kean is going to cause Inter all sorts of problems. So Inter need to watch out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, actually, quickly on a question that Palm asked, apart from Bremer, who has been the standout players for Juve? I actually disagree with the Rabiot. I think he's having a bit of an off season until now.
Yeah,
Rabiot.
me too. I think Moise Kean. I think I am completely blown away by how good he's been.
Even though he's done 0 goals, actually, you're probably right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean that's the thing that is not working for him. But otherwise, in open play, his physique, his link-up play, his passing, he's playing really well. He really is.
Well, all the back line we can mention. Rugani's been good. Gatti's been good. Szczesny as well. Because they all had that one brain fart game where Gatti scored that crazy on goal and Szczesny made those mistakes. But apart from that, they've all been pretty solid.
As hell. Solid as hell defensively.
Moving on to Inter, it looks like the same predicted lineup on Sky Sport Italia and on Gazzetta, which is, what we know and expect. And as you said, Acerbi coming in for Bastoni and De Vrij coming in for Acerbi in the middle. And Mkhitaryan, of course, unmovable. People think that maybe Frattesi will get a start. Nope. What do you make of it? What's your reaction?
That defense. Stefan De Vrij against, Darmian Dumfries against Kostic, Chiesa, while Acerbi Di Marco against Chiesa, because he'll play on the left, won't he? Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting my No, I'm thinking. Sorry, Cambiasso and McKennie and Moise Kean down Inter's left flank, and of course Chiesa down Inter's right flank, and Kostic that's where I think this is going to be. That's where I think the battle is. The midfield, I think, is going to be. Well, we know how Juve are going to play. He's not gonna. They're not gonna see the much possession. Not if Locatelli is not starting. If Locatelli doesn't start and he's not even on, then they're just gonna corto muso it to hell.
Of course.
But the issue is that Inter could also do that, because as we've seen in big games, Simone has actually been very, very pragmatic and very controlled and adapted to the opposition in big games this season, which has made me very, very happy to see that he's not been bum rushing like he's been in previous, just gung ho and then lose because you can't convert your chances. But he's been much more careful and measured, and I think he's kind of grown in that aspect. But
last season, we weren't able to do that. When we went to the Allianz, they punished us on the break both times. We had so many chances as usual. Well, not so many, but we had some clear-cut chances. One that stands out in my mind is that Dumfries one where he just skies it over the bar, and then they punish us on the counter where Kostic completely bullies Barella, and then Rabiot was completely unmarked. So
that's something I'm happy about, is because Barella looked incredible in the international break.
Yeah, 2 good games for Italy.
2 very good games, and Çalhanoğlu was rested, even though he's been ill and sick. He's been resting, so he's
just had a baby, which we know for Inter players seems to be it's like a steroid injection or some sort. Like they always perform amazing. They have a baby.
Yeah, they all kind of focus. Yeah, I think it's got to do because they relax more. I think when you have a child, things don't you change your perspective a little bit, and I think you kind of you look at the world a little much differently. And I think football, you're not as consumed by it, or at least when you come home, you've got your kid to worry about. You know what I mean? So you kind of you're mentally, it's easier, I think, to recharge for them. But look, it's that back line scares me a little bit. Darmian, De Vrij, Acerbi is not a very quick back line.
It's only worrying if you play
a high line.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm worried about, and I hope that Inzaghi doesn't do that. I hope that Inzaghi says, well, anything you can cortomuso, I can cortomuso better, and just basically gives Allegri the ball and says, you do anything with it, we're going to counterattack. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what I want to see.
We're in November. There's no need to go out for the win in this game. I'm
a draw is fine.
Content. Yeah,
I'm happy with a draw away against Juve. Absolutely.
Yeah. And our record in the Allianz is awful. So I completely agree with you. I hope this is not for the neutrals, but I don't care about the neutrals. I want this to be
a
boring
shit about the neutrals. I don't want to lose. Harambol in a way that makes people cry when they watch it. Like, you know what I mean? Like
if there's a 13-year-old kid out there who's like tuning into his first Inter game, I want him to cry.
I want him to cry.
Say, I never want to watch this.
I never want to watch Inter ever again. Exactly, that's what I want. It's
one thing I also want to raise to you is weirdly Lautaro, even though he's kind of like, you know, our big game player kind of over the years, against Juve, this guy has been really bad over the years, especially at the Allianz. What do you like? What do you give that to in terms of? Do you think it's kind of like a mental block, or he's just kind of? It's just one of like against Milan, he seems to do amazing. So is it kind of like one of those things that you just can't explain, or is there like a tactical reason you think?
I think he's not the same player he was when he first came. I mean, he's developing. He's hitting his stride now. He's become so far this season, he's been the complete striker together with Thuram. They both are complete strikers in the sense that in terms of build-up, physique, link-up, technique, dribbling, the difference is that Lautaro's finishing this season has been fantastic. Thuram's has not, if we're perfectly honest.
I think he's got the most big chances missed in Serie A this season.
Well, that goes without saying. Then that he needs to improve on that. But Lautaro, I think even when he's hit the crossbar, I can think of only one or two chances where I was like, "That's a bad finish." I think he's just been unlucky. I think the finishes have been great, but the goalkeepers have been better to it. Or you're just unlucky when you hit the bar or the post and it just clips the post and goes wide. I mean, his decision making in those important situations have been fantastic. I think my criticism of Lautaro has always been that he lacks that killer instinct, the decision making in those important situations, that he gets stressed and almost whacks it too hard. That's no longer an issue with him. I think he's much more relaxed in his body and he kind of anticipates much better.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't remember like a really, because I make fun of Lautaro some of his finishes, but I don't remember any instance this season. So
no, one or two, maybe one or two that I can like in the back of my head. I think that wasn't good. But
and another guy that I haven't made much fun of this year is Denzel Dumfries. I mean,
he's having a good season.
His touch seems to have improved.
No, he's having a really good season. God bless. But he really is having a great season. And it feels like Inter understand him and he understands Inter better now.
I think Inzaghi just using him as just in that final third, like just don't get him involved in any way.
In the build, no. He has no business being involved in the build-up play, and Inter know that, and so they don't put him there. Instead, they put him attacking the space, which is what he's good at. He's good at attacking the space and playing first-time balls in. That's actually his strength. But if he's going to be crossing and faced against the collective defense, he's useless. There's no, it's just useless. It's a waste of everyone's time.
An early goal will definitely
oh my God, please.
That's one thing. Juve, their whole game plan is based on them not conceding and then getting another one on the other end. But if they concede early, that throws the Allegri game plan out of the window. And I think that
one thing we have to say, though, I mean, if you remember, when Inzaghi has played Allegri at Inter, it's been very interesting because I think many of those times, actually, Allegri's taken the game to Inter. If you remember, he's been pressing them, pushing them. They've had good possession.
Yeah, like that Coppa Italia final, that away match in the Allianz that we won with the Çalhanoğlu penalty. Which
I will never understand how Inter won that game. I will never understand how Inter won that game because they just were outplayed for 90 minutes.
And that's why one of my favorite wins as well.
It's just how the hell did Inter win that? I will never understand how Juve managed to lose that. I mean, they did everything, and yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, is there any kind of you mentioned kind of a Cherby, you're worried on that left-hand side, especially if you play open football. Any other worries?
Fry against Keane, I'm all right with. I'm not too worried about that. Just Chiesa and Dumfries, kind of, but Darmian is there, so I'm not, not too, because he's such an intelligent footballer. And Barella's down there as well. And Çalhanoğlu has never been better. So I'm not too worried. But look, it's the Kostic crosses. Don't give him time to pinpoint.
Yeah. Please just don't let him, don't give him space. But that's the thing with Kostic. Even if you go press him, he gets it in between your legs. Like, he's so good at getting the crosses in. I don't know how he does
his
it.
Timing his timing and control of that is these crosses are so good.
Yeah, that's definitely one worry of mine, Kostic. Yeah, Peter, if you go back, we spoke about the Marotta extension at the beginning of the video.
Yeah. No. We spoke about it when Gazzetta broke it. That's like the first 20 minutes is about that. So make sure to rewatch that again.
Yeah. And quickly on the other matches, there's only one other big match going on this weekend in Serie A, Nima. Milan, Fiorentina. We may even get to see a 15-year-old debut for Milan up front in the shape of Camarda. What do you make of that game? Any predictions? Any comments on that game?
Well, I mean, Camarda has been scoring. His stats are just bizarre, like the amount of goals he scored. But then again, I can't stress this enough. You can't compare youth team football, even high-level youth team football, with playing for Milan in the Serie A against Fiorentina. Like,
no. But he's probably still better than Luka Jovic, right?
What has happened? I mean, when he came through at Frankfurt, all these how many years? It's been 6-7 years now. I really thought there was something there.
Yeah.
And then he took but again, this is the point I was going to make is exactly that. If you take a step that's too high, even if you're playing first team football, it can completely derail your career. He went from Frankfurt to Real Madrid. That was a mistake. He wasn't ready for Real Madrid. And since then, I mean, his entire career has been derailed.
Yeah.
It's finished.
Kind of reminding almost of Vlahovic now, isn't it? Vlahovic,
yeah, he does. No, he really, really does. But it's no. I mean, I look at Fiorentina and God damn it, they're bad in attack. Like Nico Gonzalez, Bonaventura, but then
they're just carrying that attack, aren't they?
Oh, and yeah.
Can we expect, as Interisti, can we expect a favor from Fiorentina in this game, or what do you think?
No, I don't trust Vincenzo Italiano's teams. Even if they're 4-0 up, they will find a way to lose 5-4. But have they got Parisi as a right back? Am I reading that right?
Yeah, okay. You are.
Okay.
Well, the thing, all the right backs are out. I think that Coyote guy that came, and he also got injured, so they have to kind of emergency at the moment, which is the same for Milan.
Yeah, Milan are in deep problems, but they in terms of the injuries, at least. I mean, Leao is out, and Giroud isn't injured, is he?
Giroud, I think he's. Oh, I remember he got a red carded against Lecce.
Oh yeah, he's suspended, didn't he? Yeah, he got himself sent off for that stupidity. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. It's no, it's. I mean, Krunic playing there is interesting. But for me, the most important player they've got there is Loftus-Cheek. Him and Reinders is important, and Pulisic has been really good as well. No, look, I think Milan will win this. To be honest, I don't trust Fiorentina, and I don't trust Vincenzo Italiano at all defensively. But Parisi is an interesting player because he's quite the little dribbler, and if he can kind of. I really rate him. He's a really interesting talent, but I don't know about right back. But maybe we'll see. I mean, we remember all the Philippe Lahm playing, with on the other side.
Well, I think he played there against Juve. Remember, and he made the mistake for the goal. So
in that
game. Did. But it's not his position.
But it's going to be an interesting. It's going to be an interesting round. I'm keen to see what Walter Cazzari does at Napoli as
Yeah,
well.
who are Napoli? Oh, Atalanta Napoli. Actually, yeah, that's a pretty big game as well. Let's
Yeah,
have a look.
that's gonna be
Predict the
interesting.
lineups for that.
Bloody hell, Gasperini against Mazzarri. Can you think of two more miserable people on earth than those
And more
two?
banter era Inter. It doesn't get more banter era Inter than that.
It literally is like two sulking, negative, miserable sons of, like, it's just, oh my God. Can you just imagine them moaning, either one of them moaning about something after the game? Yeah, no, it's.
Oh, Glorious is going to be in goal.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
No,
I like that. I mean, it's interesting to see Jens Kajustir playing next to Lobotka and Zielinski. I think it's important for him to get going because I think there is a talent. He's been very, in Sweden we're very excited about him because we think he's got some very interesting traits, and I hope he does well. I just feel bad for him that he got to Napoli under Rudi Garcia and not
and now Mazzarri.
I mean, it's like you need to have luck in life, right?
Yeah.
and you sign for, you think you're going to, Napoli win the Serie A under Spalletti. You end up signing for Rudi Garcia, but you end up being coached by Walter Mazzarri. It's like life comes at you fast, bro. Life comes at you fast. But yes, Scamacca as well. No, I think that's going to be a very interesting game as well.
Yeah. No, actually, I underestimated the Serie A round. It's actually quite an interesting round. So definitely going to be tuning in.
And Lecce, who are Lecce playing again? I forgot.
Let's have a quick look.
I think it was Hellas.
Oh, Verona, that's the one for
you.
Hellas.
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting in terms of the relegation battle as well.
Yeah, Bologna, Torino.
Genoa, Empoli. Oof.
No, Genoa, Frosinone.
Oh, that's the next one. Yeah. Genoa, Frosinone, and then they play Empoli. Oof.
No. It's good round.
Monza has become my team this season as well.
I really like watching them. I hope Carboni starts to get a bit more game time soon, but otherwise, really.
But he's not going to because he's got fantastic players ahead of him in Colpani and Vignato and these guys.
Yeah, I mean Vignato thing. He could have a good battle with him to get his spot. But yeah, obviously Colpani has got 100% starting.
Oh, he's been so good.
I think that's the problem, isn't it? Because Colpani is that left-footed guy that cuts in from the right, which is what Carboni wants to do. That's the problem.
Exactly. And also Colpani, his technique seems to be very, very sublime. He's doing things that are very interesting.
Yeah, what do you make of him as a signing for Inter? There's a lot of rumors. I do want to make a scouting report on him at some point soon. But what do you make of him? Do you see him as that mezzala at Inter?
Well, that's the thing, though. Do you bring him in to play as a mezzala to replace Mkhitaryan? And I'm wondering if that's the right decision.
I mean, if it was so heavy. The Samardzic thing, I'm still imagine if we had Samardzic as well. Like, where did they envisage him? Like, it was a purely a signing for the future, or this Colpani thing? Because I feel still numerically, I mean, obviously Sensi will probably leave in the summer and Klaassen will be there, but still numerically, there's quite a lot of guys in that midfield.
I think next summer is going to be the midfield holdover. I am worried that. I think I'm worried about Barella leaving next summer.
Yeah, I mean, but there's rumors of him renewing his contract soon. They're talking about upping his salary to 5 million net. And that's what I read recently.
Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, I think, I don't know,
the salaries in that midfield are getting really stacked now. Because, if Barella goes up to 5, Hakan's already on 6.5. Frattesi is on 2.5. If Zielinski's coming in, he's going to be on 3.5, 4 at least. That's a lot of heavy salaries in that midfield.
Yeah, and they're talking about bringing down the salaries as well. So we'll see.
Yeah. No, that's the thing, Majimaru. Like we're discussing, because there's nowhere. I mean, are they seeing Colpani as a second striker? But I doubt
that
it.
That could also be.
But I saw an interview of him recently, and he's talked about himself as a box-to-box midfielder,
which makes sense because he's a very dynamic player. If you look at Monza, when I think he's excelled is when he is driving forward from deep. I think he's playing more advanced than he would perhaps like to. But I really like Colpani. Colpani is exciting me.
Yeah.
Massimo. They're not the two worst teams in the league. That's not true.
Well, Verona definitely is.
No, Lecce's not awful. Come on, Lecce.
Yeah, but Verona is one of the worst. They are definitely one of the worst.
I think Empoli are worse. I'm so impressed by Andrea Azzoli what he's doing there, because Empoli are just shocking. Like they are not.
I don't know why they always get rid of him. Like, just let the guy.
Let him be. I mean, he delivers. Like he always delivers for them, and it's like he gets them promoted, and then they just like, come on, show some loyalty.
Yeah. Oh, Sunita, they were speaking about you earlier in very glowing terms, by the way, of course. So make sure to rewind.
Yes.
I mean, on the referee, you're much more on the referee knowledge than me, because I never really look into it. But I know it's Guida going to be the referee for this game. What's your expectation?
I mean,
it's funny. Guida, his name in Italian means driving. So
no, he'll drive off the cliff.
This game?
No, Marco Guida in Inter is a chapter. Or Rosario Abisso, Marco Guida. That's a chapter on its own. I wish it was Daniele Doveri. I think he's the best referee in the world. He's my favorite referee. I think the level that he keeps in terms of the physicality, the level that he maintains, the fact that the communication with the players is always spot on. His games never deteriorate into chaos because he is such a good communicator and so consistent in his calls. Of course, he makes mistakes. All referees make mistakes, and that's fine. Yeah. But he's very. I like the level that he keeps in terms of physicality, and I like that he's consistent. Yeah.
We'll see. There obviously will be controversy.
Irati. Massimo's right. Irati's on VAR. They're bringing in the big guns, aren't they?
Yeah, there's obviously going to be controversy. There's just no escaping that. I just hope there won't be any off the pitch controversy of like racism or things like that, which we had last time.
I enough. Italian football doesn't need to embarrass itself anymore. Enough of that. Enough of that nonsense.
Yeah.
No, we don't want to see that. But I hope we don't see any controversy. I hope we see a game where we let the players decide and not stupid calls.
I agree, and I hope Limonebo decides the game. Let's finish up, Nima. I know you don't like doing this, but give us a match prediction. Is Cortomuso going to Cortomuso, or is Limonebo going to squeeze the Cortomuso?
I can't shake off the feeling of him standing there with that smile, 1-0 afterwards, with like one shot on top all game. Like, do you know what I mean? A deflect, like peak Allegrismo. Like, do you know what I mean? Like peak.
And say in the post-match conference that, you know, they beat a super team. And
that Inter should be winning the league by 5 for the next 5 years by 20 points and shit like that. But I also have faith in Inzaghi. I really do. I think he's matured a lot this season, and the way that he's handled Allegri's stuff, responding as well, saying, "Look, we're certainly not the favorites. If you look at, we're not the richest. I mean, look at." And then he started listing how much they made net spend and how much profit they've turned the last 3 years, and he compares that to Juve. So you know, it's going to be interesting. I hope Simone finally is able to end all that nonsense.
Yeah. That would be amazing, to get that win, especially because I think in the league he hasn't beaten him at the Allianz, but we've done it in the Coppa Italia.
No, but that 1-0 wasn't that 1-0 in the Serie A?
Oh yeah, sorry, that wasn't the first season. That was first season Serie A. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
But last season then we lost both games in the league. Yeah, I'm gonna. So what was your prediction then? 1-0 to Juve.
1-0 to Juve. Yeah. Bloody Kostic scoring as well.
Oh yeah, deflected shot
No, Moise Ken. It's gonna be someone like that, isn't it? Moise Ken or
Oh.
Weston McKennie or some.
And
some
your boomer self and Carlo are gonna fume when they just start doing the gritty or something, and you're gonna be like,
what in God's name is the gritty?
and then
What does that even
CBS
mean?
use it as the promo for the next few weeks, and you guys
Oh,
have been
God.
complaining on your pod.
What's the gritty? What even
This
is
is
that?
the dance. I don't know. I'm getting old now as well. I'm out of the loop. You know you're getting old even when I say I'm getting old.
Ah, dear. But what? Okay, so yeah, no. But seriously, I think Juve will squeeze out a win. To be honest, and he will. I'm not jinxing. I don't believe in jinxes. Don't do that. It's Carlo drives me crazy with that superstition. It's just, oh my God,
jinx mentality.
Oh, he literally believes that nonsense, and it's so annoying. It's like, stop. There's no such thing as jinxes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for a 1-1 draw.
I'll take that. I'll take 1-1.
I'll
And I
be
want
happy.
Lautaro to score. It would be amazing if Lautaro could score finally and put an end to that and have a good game.
Yeah. Oh,
The
apparently it's not the
slide.
gritty, it's the slide. There you go. So that shows how out of touch I am as well now, guys. So I'm also a boomer now, maybe.
Got married. Been married 2 weeks, and he's essentially turned into like a 85-year-old Indian uncle. I love it.
Yeah, I've got the belly, I've got the crap jokes, I've got everything now.
You're turning into Sunit.
But I see there's a lot of confidence though, Nima. That I did a poll in the chat earlier, and there was over 80% said that Inter can win. And look at some of these comments.
Well, of course they can. They can win.
Yeah.
But will they win? Like that's. I bet you did, Massimo. Yeah, I bet you did. No, it just annoys me because he doesn't let me talk. Like he says, you can't say that because you're gonna jinx it. I'm like, what do you mean? Stop telling me what I can and can't say. Like it's just, oh God.
It's so funny. Yeah. He's grown up in Bedford, but he's got like all the traits of a guy that's like
literally a 70-year-old Neapolitan man.
Yeah,
like literally a 75-year-old Neapolitan. Like it's not even funny.
But yeah, Nima, thank you very much for coming onto the channel. Once again, I always enjoy these episodes with you. I think it was a great chat about Marotta, Inter, Juve, and plug away about the Italian football podcast, which I am a patron of.
Yeah, cheers. No, I appreciate it. No, I mean, we do. You can check us out at ITAFootPod on YouTube and Twitter and Instagram, and then it's out everywhere, where pods are. The Italian Football Podcast Mondays are the free pod for everyone to listen to. But if you want to get everything, it's $2.99 a month, and we do a Thursday midweek review and a Q&A pod where people send in their questions, and so yeah, that's what we do. And then we also have done 2 interviews this last month with Roberto Di Matteo and Sandy Lovric of Udinese. So, and they're all out on YouTube, so make sure to check them out.
Yep, and you can they're tagged in the description below, so you can click on the descriptions down below to check them out. Thank you to everyone that tuned in. I really, really appreciate all the comments and everything. It's been a really fun chat. Thank you once again, Bruce Wayne, for the donation. Really appreciate that. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, helps the YouTube algorithm, so please make sure to do that. And I'll see you on Sunday evening for hopefully a positive match reaction.
Oh, please. Like, don't lose this. I can't. Like, I can.
I am getting. Yeah, it's been a while since the Inter Juve game has made me real nervous. This one's really making me nervous.
This has become the Serie A of my childhood. Inter, Milan, Juve at the top after 10 games, and
was that 1940s your childhood?
Screw you. No, but this is the Serie A we grew up with. It's always those 3 at the top, and they fight each other and battle each other, and it's starting to spice up. So
Definitely.
we'll see.
But yeah, thank you everyone that tuned in. Thank you, Nima. Ciao ragazzi. Always.
Ciao.
Forza Inter.
Ciao.